time the match starts. And here we go on the first of the test streams.
And they're off. First off on the Bulletproof Pope X, captained by Lazy Pandas. We have a front Hades something. My game's still loading in. Oh, there we go.
It's still loading for me. I can't see. I see a balloon. Hades flak.
Hades flak, Bryn. Hades flak, front, carousel flare side. And on the RAS Pluto, captained by Jub, we have a top deck Hades, Artemis Wings, and a bottom deck Gatling carousel.
Over on the fancy, flown by Demento, we have a top deck Hades. We have upper deck left Artemis, lower deck left Flamethrower, lower deck right carousel, Carronade, and upper deck right Artemis. Over on the LibGTK, as always, flown by Loosi, we have another Hades flak fronted Pyra with a Artemis flare side, and it looks like the Bulletproof Pope is getting. Oh, wow! That was quick.
BTK had the advantage there, coming up from a very high altitude. They had to arc those Hades up, but they couldn't. The Mobula goes down too.
Wow. Okay. Sorry about the little bit of unprofessionalism there. We were caught a little bit off guard, rambling on and getting the stream set up, but we already have a very quick 2-1. To CSM Riders. Sorry, not CSM, it's Riders because I saw that clan tag. Bloody hell, that happened quickly. I wonder what. I couldn't even tell what happened.
Just a reminder to all our viewers, we are testing out a 10-minute time limit rule with 10-minute overtime over the course of each best three. That means these matches are going to be hot and heavy, fast and furious, etc., etc.
As in, you got to get something done. You don't have any time to do it.
Yes. Well, but then again, I mean, it cuts both ways, because now that the LibGTK and the Fancy on the Riders, they've got the advantage. I mean, they don't exactly have much motivation to attack, do they?
No, they're sort of just sat back at the ribs, just waiting.
I mean, heck, the match is like probably about a quarter way over already.
Heck, have they even turned to face them on yours? Because on mine, they just sat pointing at the ribs and not even bothering.
I believe they are. I believe it's a pause right now. I think someone on the Praetorians has disconnected. A engineer on the Mobula, RAS Pluto.
Oh god, what was the button to get off this? It's been so long since I've done this. I forgot the button to get off the damn ship. What is it? Brain, work.
Bill O'Reilly, everyone.
Oh my god in heaven. I feel like I'm having a senior moment. I feel like Bruce Sawthide. What day is it? I don't know. Oh, how'd you do it?
I think Bruce Forsyth is remarkable in his mental acuity at his age. I mean, he's got to be like 90 or something.
He's about 135. He was around when Noah was about. He was on the ark.
Old as Methuselah. He was Noah.
Oh, I remember when those pyramids came up.
2 of each animal.
2 of each animal, but no one liked the velociraptors, so he left them where they were. They're really honourable.
Let's not make this too British.
Oh, why not? We always do this. It drew in the view. No, it didn't draw in the viewers last time. I think we lost the 3 viewers that we had.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Goodness gracious me.
Now,
well.
the only problem is the way I've set this up, because it was so slapdash, sorry, is that I can't see the chat. Let me just sorry about the momentarily fuck around. I've got to grab the chat.
Sir Morty with a Freudian slip there, everyone. And yes, again, we are filling the air with banter because literally nothing is happening right now. It's just
the zero keyword. Thank you, chat. Sorry for being noob. You can tell we haven't done this in a while. Oh my god.
There we go. Once again, Alison has reconnected to the RAS Pluto, and once again, these teams should be good to go.
Oh, and the pause goes off as the cloud rose by. Actually works well for red team because they've got a little bit of cover to. I don't know. Run away! Run away and get the hell out! As we see the Pope doing. Where's the Pope going? Back to the Vatican, maybe.
Quite possibly.
To lock himself in a room for 3 weeks with nothing but black smoke. What? You said that?
Don't make any Catholic jokes. I think we've alienated enough viewers with our edgy Bruce Forsyth jokes.
Oh, it's the regular Frankie Boyle. You are. That's another British joke that no one else is going to get. He's a very un-PC comedian, everybody.
Yes, just so you know.
Yeah, he's Brick. He's basically a personification of Brick with a beard.
Or possibly Steve Coogan. I mean,
Steve Coogan's got nothing on Frankie Boyle. Anyway, we've got the LibGTK and the Fancy going straight for the RAS Pluto. There's a spot come down on the bulletproof Pope X.
Once again, you see LibGTK going up high, meaning the red team is unable to get those Artemis arms. Once again, the Riders have the advantage.
And the Pope is taking a beating. Let him go, he's just getting a hammer in the poor sod.
He's taking a beating, but the shot accuracy has actually been
but here goes the LibGTK and comes the flat rounds on the LibGTK, and they're going to get it down. No, the last few rounds hit one. The first 2 rounds made connections, but here we go. This should be the end of LibGTK. Not thank goodness, but thank goodness for the Pope.
That was superior shot accuracy.
Yeah.
And not only that, I mean, the Fancy was coming in from behind, trying to fire on the Pyramidion as
the Fancy's hull goes down. They climb a height to lose some of this Artemis fire, but it doesn't stop all of it. 2 shots managed to connect and take off a good chunk of his armor. The Fancy's just trying to get the hell away and get under arcs.
I think this is all she wrote for the Fancy.
Oh, no, they got the hull up. So that flying round doesn't do very much, but we need only 1 Artemis. Nope, not even that. Hades took him out. Well, yes. We've got a good 2-2 come up. I thought there was going to be a bit more damage against the Pope, seeing as the first volley was hammering him good and proper, but those damaging weapons, those flanks and those Artemises just didn't really connect, or didn't connect at all. Look at him.
It was the bulletproof Pope was moving in a trickier trajectory. It was moving away as the LibGTK was moving forward into the arcs of the Praetorians. The Praetorians had a much easier target to focus on, in my view.
Yes, they did. Well, I think they did. It seemed like the LibGTK, as you were saying earlier, had the right idea to climb to try and get out the arc, so especially those Artemi, which are going to do a lot of hassling for them. But it just didn't seem to pay dividends as the Pope managed to back up and climb to get into decent arcs and threw off the arcs of the Fancy. They couldn't get that damage down.
And got a bit too aggressive too early, perhaps.
Well, it worked for them on first off the bat. They had kills before we even introduced the ships.
I don't think the same trick will work twice against the Praetorians.
No. On the other hand, we've got blue team going around the back of the smashed up Leviathan, trying to get a shorter line to the bulletproof Pope and the Pluto, as they think they might be still in the back of their spawn. But we already have 5 minutes played on the counter, so we are literally halfway through the match now. Match proper. We still have overtime to play, but we should see some engagements and probably I
think there's a good chance that overtime will be used up on this map. What with it being dunes and all.
Yes, it's dunes. We do seem. Oh, there we go. We got the spots down. The bulletproof Pope spots the Fancy, and the Fancy in return gets a spot down on the bulletproof Pope. We've got to see who can get the shots off first. At those ranges, though, you've got to be a pretty good Hades gunner or a Lesmok Hades gunner to get consistent hits at that range. Yeah, we got some.
I don't think anyone's going to get kills with Hades at this kind of range.
I've seen some people do it. Well, against Spires mainly, the ships that aren't so maneuverable. But
right now, both these teams are rapidly close to the distance. The Riders coming in, but they might be making the same mistake they did last time.
Oh no!
Let's see LibGTK getting focused already here.
Yeah, he's trying to get low, trying to get underneath those Artemis arcs at least, because you can't really escape from a Hades, not at this distance.
You don't really get under an Artemis arc because it'll just shoot down at you.
Well, you sort of can do, but
if you get right underneath the bloody ship.
Yeah, I was sort of looking at that, and there was a big blue bar. Yeah, he's a lot further away than I thought. But I'll take that back. Oh, but the LibGTK is getting a hammering. Normally, we see the LibGTK is the aggressor here.
He's trying to kind of go up and down, bobbing around, but he's getting focused once again, and now the LibGTK is arms down.
That's a deadly shot. They've only lost a front gun. They haven't lost any engines yet. They're not in too much damage, and those flat rounds from the Pope came in too late to do any serious damage. The hull was back up, but the hull goes down again. Are we going to see some flight rounds in time? In they come. No! One hit, but the rest missed, so it's now the Pluto getting focused down by the LibGTK and the Fancy. But I think the LibGTK is in a sore spot here, because look where he's going. If he loses that balloon, well, he did. Oh,
I believe he just smashed into that giant cog there. Once again, the LibGTK just made himself too much of a target and just went too far ahead of the Fancy.
Yeah, he went just a little bit too far ahead, leaving the Fancy wide open again. It was a good... I don't think it was the bad tactic to try and get close enough. He is the toughest ship, but when you're against two ships with equal firepower to you and equal... Well, basically two equal ships.
What you want them to do is you want them to split focus.
Yeah.
You want them to be not sure who to focus on. And if you just give them one target consistently, that can be problematic.
Yeah, the Fancy was too far away to be of any real danger, and you are against two ships which are exactly the same toughness as you. Oh, down goes the Fancy's hull, taking a couple of flat rounds, but the rest missing just narrowly.
And that's the thing. I mean, the Pyramidion, if the Mobula had gone down, I mean, the Pyramidion would have stood a chance of escaping. And the Mobula on this map, very unlikely.
Unfortunately, yeah, they haven't got very much to hide behind. We have 2 minutes left before we come into overtime. We have the Bulletproof Pope going underneath the LibGTK, but I think the Pluto has this wrapped up, really, unless the LibGTK can come in really, really quickly and do some damage, but I don't think they will.
I don't think LibGTK is really trying. He's not making a beeline.
Oh no.
He's going to let this one slide, I think. And that's the end of the Pluto.
I feel so sorry for the Pluto. They had a good effort. They tried to get close, use those flamers, try and disable the Pluto, but... Oh, poor sods. They did lose the hull. The Pluto did lose their hull with that carronade flamer, but... There's not much that can be done. There's not much at all that can be done in that circumstances. We should see the two teams get very aggressive now since they've only got a few minutes left, but, well, if they don't want to use up their overtime.
Yes, indeed, and now the LibGTK and the Fancy, they are reorganizing themselves, ready to go once again. Sorry,
I'm playing with the camera, ignore me. I shouldn't have done that.
You'll go blind if you keep doing that.
My mother always said that was an old wives' tale. Oh, it's Bruce! Bruce is back!
Bruce Forsyth, the new Guns of Icarus cast. It wouldn't be the weirdest presenting job he's had.
No, it wouldn't be. Is it better than that dance competition?
Look at that Metamidian.
Oh, well, we have the LibGTK now way out in front of the Fancy, now engaging the Bulletproof Pope. I wonder if he can do any damage, but he is outgunned because the RAS Pluto is there too.
He's just making himself too much of a target here.
Yes, he's going to have to pull back and hide behind those clouds to get a chance of escaping, but he can't. He's taking heavy fire, and in comes a dust cloud. This could be the... I've gone Keith Lemon.
Really
I've gone Keith Lemon. No, I've gone Keith Lemon. Oops.
In any event, it might be going a bit Keith Lemon for you, but it's going a bit Pete Tong for the LibGTK.
Oh.
It bounced off the ground.
Well, it didn't do that.
Well,
it didn't do that much damage, and there wasn't enough fire to come in and do some sustained hull damage afterwards. So I think they might have just got away with that if they can keep those engines up and get out of the dust cloud.
Yeah, the Rydrs, they all very, very nearly made the same mistake they've made twice before, and they cannot afford to make it again.
Okay, so there's the Fancy putting down fire on the RAS Pluto, but now it's left the Fancy open to be shot at as the spot comes down. Cloud rolls by just luckily and cuts that spot out, but they can't move.
There we go. Look at this. Look at the RAS Pluto ducking up and is going up and down. It's ducking behind the Bulletproof Pope. They're causing the blue team to split their focus.
Yeah, split your damage between you and a buddy or you and a piece of terrain. It always works. If you can get your fire back when they're on their reload cycle or close to it, then you should be okay. Especially in a long-range engagement like this where maximum firepower is the key.
LibGTK choosing to back off here.
There's not much further else they can go apart from behind the battleship. And then once they're behind the battleship, where else could they go?
It's not a great spot for the Blues to engage. They have no cover. The Praetorians, on the other hand, should things go a bit pear-shaped, they could duck into those ribs.
Yeah, in all fairness, if I were the Riders at this point, I think I'd cut my losses and just wait for the next cloud cover to roll by and then roll out past the battleship and try and go around the map and get a new firing line. Because at the minute, they are backed into a bit of a corner and they know it. We've got the Fancy trying to put as much space between him and the Liberty TK putting as much space between him and the Fancy as possible. But we've got flares coming down in the clouds, making it so much easier to spot the Fancy again. So they've lost all cover again. And with no spots down on the Praetorians, it's going to be very, very hard to have any effective counterattack. I mean, you can fire along trajectories, but it's not going to help a Hades gunner much. Okay, we have the LibGTK actually making a wise decision and moving now, but he has left the Fancy alone again.
Do you think there's any kind of metagame here regarding this overtime? I mean, would teams want? I mean, would either team be happier to have that overtime used up earlier? Maybe more aggressive teams, maybe brawlier teams would prefer to have that used up quicker.
I think it's all down to the maps. And a long-range map like this, use up your timer, yeah, go for it, because then you can afford to sit back and have a slow sniping match. You don't want to have a long match on something very short range, where you'll either have to do a lot of running, a lot of panicking, a lot of short engagements. You want to use up your extra time on a map where you know the match could perceivably run longer like this. If you're on, let's think, Canyon Ambush in some extent, maybe Fjords, depending on the builds. The maps like that where you have to get in, you have to engage, and you have to get right up close to your person's face, then you don't need overtime, because it's not going to be very often unless they circle each other.
If all the overtime is used up on this map, and you see Canyon Ambush getting drawn, I mean, just a couple of kills could decide the whole thing. And now, talking of kills, the RAS Pluto is in great danger of dying here. Split, excellent.
Oh, yes.
The Riders.
Yes, and there comes in the Fancy, closing the range very, very quickly. The LibGTK is just above the bulletproof Pope, limiting some of the damage. But, in come the flat rounds from the LibGTK! I don't think that works so much. I thought it would have limited the damage, but I appear to have been mistaken.
This is the danger in flanking. I mean, one ship can get charged and focused. The LibGTK in big trouble. The Fancy does have the rear of the Pluto, but the LibGTK needs to hang on to turn this match around.
Yeah.
No!
Pluto.
Not enough.
Oh, it wasn't enough. We managed to get the hold down, and good flat rounds by the looks of it came in. We had 3 big square shot prop up. Sorry I didn't quite catch that. I'll be better at the camera next time. Oh, this is flapping about. Pop out the chat.
The Praetorians just a great comeback after the Riders' early lead.
Indeed.
The Riders, their flank at the end, it nearly worked. It nearly worked,
yes. Very well done indeed. Very nice effort, especially to let the Mobula come in so close and get the flamers and that deadly close range firepower in. It did a hell of a lot of damage, but just couldn't hold. Just the LibGTK couldn't hold out for just long enough.